Hey guys, Jonathan was out here for JMSports 100 and the JMSports Show. I'm here to make JMSports Picks for February 22nd, 2013. Happy, finally, Friday to you all, NASCAR fans. The first NASCAR point race of the year takes place tonight in the Camping World Truck Series. I'll have a preview of that up later on today, right after qualifying. So that'll be later on in the day. I'm not quite sure what time qualifying is. I'll have to go look. Don't know off the top of my head, but I will have a preview up then, and then the nationwide preview will be up tomorrow. I'm not as concerned about the previews as I am the recaps. Previews will always take place after qualifying, with the exception of the Daytona 500, because I do want to look some stuff up before I do that, but that will be up probably today as well, and that will probably be made my main video for a while. Also, I will, at the very end of this video, I will go over, because I didn't do a dual recap, because there wasn't really much to talk about. I'll talk about it a little, but there wasn't really much to make a whole video about. So I'll talk about it a little at the end of the video, and then I will go over the starting lineup for the Daytona 500, and who did not make the show, and then I will, in the description down below, from now on I'm going to start putting the times where everything starts. So if you only care about NBA picks, you'll see when they start. If you only care about college basketball picks, you'll see when they start. NHL, whatever, and then when baseball comes, Let's kick things off in the aforementioned NHL as we continue to roll there. Day 3 of making picks over there. Not a horrible day. It was a good enough day for us. It was 10 matchups. We went 6 and 4. Let's go over some of those scores right now. But first, I do want to say quickly that with the 6 and 4 that we pulled off in the NHL, we are 16 and 9 on the year. So 16 and 9 on the year in the NHL and lifetime, since this is essentially our first year picking, but it's not really. Alrighty, we had Toronto and Buffalo. Toronto getting a 3-1 win there. Florida getting a 5-2 win over the Flyers. New Jersey Devils beat Washington 3-2. Winnipeg gets by Carolina 4-3. The Islanders beat Montreal in overtime 4-3. Ottawa beat the New York Rangers in a shootout 3-2. Boston gets a 4-2 win over Tampa Bay. Columbus gets by Detroit 3-2. Vancouver beats Dallas 4-3, and the Minnesota Wild beat the Edmonton Oilers 3-1. Alrighty, let's take a look now at matchups for Friday. There's only a few of them. Florida and Pittsburgh. I am going to go with Pittsburgh, Vancouver, and Nashville. I am going to go Vancouver and San Jose and Chicago. Again, can be seen on the NHL Network at 8:30 Eastern Time. I am going to go with the Blackhawks. Remember, the Blackhawks have yet to lose a game in regulation this season. Let's move now to college basketball. Quickly. And over there, pretty good day. Not much to scoff at there, as we did go 10-3 over there in college basketball yesterday. We'll go over the top 25 scores of that in just a second. But first, I want to let you know that we are now with the 10-3 record, 546, 181 on the year, 1,532 wins, 630 losses lifetime. And now let's take a peek at the two top 25 actions that took place. Number 6, Duke handled Virginia Tech extremely easy, 88-56. California did get by Oregon, 48-46. That was one of our 3 losses. I said that I didn't know why I wasn't calling for the upset, but I wasn't going to. And California just pulled one out there to upset Oregon. We also got wins from Arkansas, UConn, Delaware. Temple got us a win. Western Kentucky got us a win. Middle Tennessee got us a win. Stanford got us a win. Colorado got us a win. Meanwhile, San Diego and BYU were the other two teams that we picked that lost. I think I might have forgot a couple of teams that got us wins, but that's okay. You guys really only care about the top 25 anyway. Only one top 25 game for Friday, and that is St. Louis taking on 15th ranked Butler, ESPNU, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. I am going to go with Butler. Next up, we got Florida Gulf Coast taking on Stetson, and I'm going with Florida Gulf Coast in that game there. ESPN2, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, should be a pretty good game. North Dakota State and Akron. It'll be one of the games I have my eye on. Maybe a little bit. I don't think I'm going to watch the whole game because there is NBA tonight that I can watch on one TV, and then on the other one I can watch, of course I can watch NASCAR, so I can do the Camping World Truck Series recap. So, but I might, keep a little eye on it. Stephen F. Austin also takes on Long Beach State, ESPNU, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. I am going to go with Stephen F. Austin. Alright, so that is going to do it for college basketball, which brings us to the NBA. Basically, I knew going into yesterday that we were going to go 1-1 if I stuck with the games that I went with. I thought the Clippers could maybe beat the Spurs, but I wasn't real confident about it. I definitely thought the game would be closer than it would be. We'll talk about that in a second. First of all, the first game that we had in the TNT doubleheader yesterday was LeBron and the Heat taking on the still Derrick Roseless Chicago Bulls. Heat get an 86-67 win. LeBron James 26 points in the W for the Heat. And then in the second half of the doubleheader, Spurs and Clippers, Tony Parker on a roll, 31 points as the Spurs roll past the Clippers 116-90, snapping the Clippers' 4-game winning streak and moving the Spurs' winning streak up to 5. So, let's take a look now at the games for Friday, and it looks like this. First of all, we got the Knicks and the Raptors. Give me the Knicks. Denver and Washington. Give me the Nuggets. Chicago and Charlotte. Going to go with the Bulls. Detroit and Indiana. Give me the Pacers. Houston and Brooklyn. I'm going to go with the Rockets. Sacramento and Atlanta. Give me the Hawks. Orlando and Memphis. Going to go with the Grizzlies. A little shaky, though. Also a little shaky about the Houston-Brooklyn game. Dallas and New Orleans. Hesitantly going to go with the Mavericks because I hesitantly go with the Mavs and I pick them. Minnesota and Oklahoma City at 8 o'clock Eastern Time is the first of a ESPN doubleheader. And I'm going to go with the Thunder. Boston and Phoenix. Give me the Celtics, Portland, and the Lakers. I am going to go with the Lakers. And last but not least, we have San Antonio and Golden State, ESPN, 10:30 Eastern Time. And I'm going to go with the Spurs. So, there you go. There goes that. Now, let's switch over to NASCAR just for a second. Yesterday was the Budweiser duels. Not much to talk about. There was a little bit of a wreck late in the first duel. That was the only caution. That was the only caution of the day, period. No wrecks in the second duel. Interesting, though, what happened at the end of the first duel with Martin Truex Jr. He had a window loose in his car, therefore that was technically a violation, and that put him at the tail end of the lead lap, or tail end of the finish order for lead lap cars, and then that allowed Scott Speed to actually get into the race. Otherwise, Scott Speed would not have made the show. Let's take a look now. First of all, there were, of course, 45 cars yesterday. Well, technically, 43 cars going for basically 43 spots. I'm sorry, there was, 43 cars going for 41 spots. I'm sorry. 43 cars going for 41 spots because the only thing that we knew was Danica, Patrick, and Jeff Gordon had the front row. First of all, the 2 cars that did not make the race, the 52 of Brian Keselowski and the 19 of Mike Bliss. Mike Bliss had some issues in his dual race, and that really put him behind Mike Bliss. Really had to make it in on time. He was the slowest of all the qualifiers back on qualifying day, which was last Sunday. Let's take a look now from 43rd to first. 43rd through 37th made it in on owner's points. So that's just something to remember. And starting 43rd, Travis Quapple. 42nd, David Ruderman. 41st, J.J. Yaley. 40th, Regan Smith. 39th, Terry Labonte. 38th, Michael McDowell. 37th, making in on his points as well, Martin Truex Jr. The next four guys made it in on their speeds from qualifying day, so they had that to fall back on. 36th, Carl Edwards. 35th, Denny Hamlin. 34th, Ryan Newman. 33rd, Trevor Bayne, who of course won the Daytona 500 back in 2010. Now the transfer spots. The four transfer spots went to 32nd, Josh Weiss. 31st, Scott Speed. 30th, Dave Blaney. 29th, Michael Waltrip. And then the rest of these guys just made it in. 28th, Ricky Stenhouse. 27th, Joe Nemechek. 26th, Eric Almirola. 25th, David Gilliland. 24th, Marcus Ambrose. 23rd, Bobby Labonte. 22nd, David Reagan. 21st, Joey Logano. 20th, Jim McMurray. 19th, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 18th, Jeff Burton. 17th, Casey Mears. 16th, Paul Menard. 15th, Brad Keselowski, defending Sprint Cup Series champion. 14th, Mark Martin. 13th, Tony Stewart. 12th, Matt Kenseth. 11th, Kurt Busch. 10th, Clint Boyer. 9th, Jimmy Johnson. 8th, Austin Dillon. Fantastic run for him in his duel. I do think he could be a threat on Sunday if he could stay out of trouble. He's going to win a lot of races in anything he competes in. Already, of course, a Camping World Truck Series champion is Austin Dillon. 7th, Juan Pablo Montoya. 6th, Casey Kane. 5th, Greg Biffle. And all the two guys that won the duels. First of all, winner of the second duel, Kyle Busch. And winner of the first duel, and starting third, the man who has won everything he's been in Daytona so far this weekend, or so far during Speed Weeks, Kevin Harvick. He is 2 for 2. Of course, him and Gil Martin. Gil Martin was his longtime crew chief. They are reunited and have kicked the season off with a bang. And of course, front row, which was determined on Sunday, and both drivers were able to keep their race cars. It was figured out last Sunday, and both drivers able to keep their race cars clean, and we'll have the front row, Jeff Gordon and Danica Patrick. Alright guys, alright NASCAR fans, don't forget Camping World Truck Series preview up tonight, recap up tonight, and probably a Daytona 500 preview up today. So be sure to look for all of that. The NASCAR season is in full force. Don't worry everybody else. The NASCAR thing does not hinder my picks any. So that is going to do it for me. At least it shouldn't. Now that I said that it doesn't, it probably will. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for me. I am John was up for JMSports 100 and the JM Sports Show. I will see you NASCAR fans later, and I will see you the rest of you guys tomorrow.